Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Bohan and I'm an earthquake geologist. I'm doing a video series on earthquakes in all 50 states, and today's state is Hawaii. Thousands of earthquakes happen in Hawaii every year. Most of those earthquakes are too small for people to feel, but they're not too small to be detected by the more than 60 seismic instruments that are deployed across the islands. Now, on average, Hawaii has about 100 magnitude 3 to 3.9 earthquakes every year. Usually there's about 10 magnitude 4 to 4.9 earthquakes and at least one magnitude 5 to 5.9. There's usually a magnitude 6 to 6.9 once a decade or so, and there are about 2 earthquakes magnitude 7 or greater every century. Now, these earthquakes come from different sources, and we'll talk about each one. The first source is volcanic earthquakes, right? Earthquakes can be the result of volcanic processes, and obviously Hawaii has a lot of volcanic things happening all the time, including lots of earthquakes. So those earthquakes can happen around the area where the magma is stored underground, and they also occur as magma and superheated gases move through the crust. This can cause the rocks to break and cracks to vibrate. So those are the volcanic sources, and most of those happen on the Big Island, especially in the southern part. Most of them are magnitude 4 or less. The second source of earthquakes in Hawaii are related to movement on faults. So what we think of as tectonic earthquakes. Now, these can be upper crustal faults that occur within the volcano and beneath the volcano, but it can also happen on this really big fault underneath called the décollement. This fault separates out the ancient sort of seafloor from the volcano itself. And earthquakes on this fault can be really dangerous because they can be up to a magnitude 8 and they can generate tsunamis. So this was the source of the magnitude 7.9 earthquake that happened in 1868, as well as the magnitude 7.7 earthquake that happened in 1975. Now, the third source of earthquakes is related to the weight of these volcanoes. So they're basically just a big pile of volcanic rocks, and that is very heavy. So if you look right over here, this would be the Pacific plate. Down here you can see that it says lithosphere, so that's the crust and the upper part of the mantle. And the weight of the islands actually can bend the lithosphere of the Pacific plate, and that causes compression or squeezing along the top of the plate, and it causes tension or stretching along the bottom of the plate. And both those things can create earthquakes, including a magnitude 6.9 that happened in 2006 and a magnitude 6.2 that happened in 1973. So this source of earthquakes is primarily what causes damaging earthquakes north of the Big Island. These earthquakes can all cause shaking that can cause some damage. So if you feel shaking from any source when you're in Hawaii, make sure you know what to do. Drop down to the ground, take cover underneath a sturdy object like a table, and hold on until all the shaking has stopped. Now, if you feel strong or prolonged shaking and you're at or near the beach, wait until the shaking has stopped and then move quickly inland and to higher ground, because that earthquake shaking can be your natural tsunami warning. So if you experience an earthquake or other hazard, remember what to do. Don't be scared, be prepared.